Welcome to Geojit Spotlight. The state election results will be announced tomorrow. While rising crude oil prices are making headlines, UP election results could cause more volatility on Dalal Street. Geojit Chief Investment Strategist Dr. V K Vijayakumar joining us. Dr. V K, do you think that UP election results may bring in further volatility to the market?
Exit polls indicate a decisive victory for the BJP in UP. From the market perspective, this is a positive development. But the market is unlikely to respond positively under the present circumstances, even if the BJP does well in UP and also in some other states except in Punjab. The reason is, presently the market is being impacted by the news from the war front in Ukraine. As a result of the war and the sanctions imposed on Russia, crude prices have shot through the roof, and as I speak, Brent crude is quoting at around $130 a barrel. So this means India's current account deficit will be impacted, India's GDP growth will be lower than estimates, inflation will be higher than estimates. This has impacted the sentiments, and the short-term sentiments have turned negative. So even if we have positive developments on the political front, like a decisive victory for BJP in UP and in some other states also, it is unlikely to trigger a sustained rally in the markets.
FIs are pulling money out of India. If BJP fails in UP, what will be the reaction of FIs?
FII selling doesn't have anything to do with the outcome of the elections. In October last year, they started selling on valuation concerns because India's valuations were much higher than emerging market peers. And now FIIs continue to sell even though valuations have become less expensive. They continue to sell because the war and the crude oil impact will be impacting India the most among emerging economies. Our GDP growth estimates and inflation estimates will be impacted. GDP growth will be for financial year 23 lower than estimates, and the inflation will be much higher than estimates. So this is the reason why FIIs are selling, and they might continue to sell because FIIs hold 625 billion worth of equities, that is their assets under custody, $625 billion. Therefore, they can afford to sell more. Now, if BJP wins in UP and also in some other states, that will be a positive, but there will not be a positive, favorable reaction from the markets. On the other hand, if the BJP unexpectedly loses, there will be a negative reaction, because when the sentiments are generally negative, sentiments are bearish, any bad news will be bad news from the market perspective, that is, bad news will be immediately responded to.
Thank you, Dr. VK. Let's wait for the market reaction.
For more videos, subscribe our YouTube channel and press the bell icon.